All right, taking a while for this to load up. I need to record too. Oops. All right, good evening, everyone. 9 o'clock. Appreciate you being on. We live on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Pretty much just want to have a little discussion, really. You know, my topic tonight was on how to pay your bills with other people's money. Guys, I mean, a lot of time we look at stuff from a very different perspective. For the most part, we always thinking about how we want things and we want to work hard, get money, and go pay for it. And we've been taught, you earn your keep. You buy what you want. You try and get things that you like, basically by working hard, getting a good job, getting an education, and then getting it right. And go to school, get a good job, and get the things you want. So that's great. That's awesome. That's outstanding. For those who want to do it the slow way, where, hey, the only way I can get money is by going out there personally working for it, right? So in order to pay your bills with other folks' money, you got to get to a point where you sit down, budget your money, see where your money going, right? Then you go out there and find a resource that you can use, an asset that you can sell and make more money off. And that's when you gain the money to pay your bills. So when you first started, and I think my first rental property, I probably was making no more than $100 a month off of it. But if I look at it, hey, $100 can pay a gas bill, water bill. So if I'm looking at, okay, this $100 I'm making off of it is nothing, that's a little bitty thing, but that's a gas bill or water bill a month that I don't have to pay anymore. And then after you budgeting, you saying, hey, look, I have this car note. I'm gonna get a rental house that's gonna net me $400, $500 a month. Now you can go out there and find your car note and an insurance that's gonna be under $400 or $500. And that's what you do. You go out there and find that deal and do it. I'm not telling you nothing that I haven't done. Every time after that, I bought a truck. The second rent house, every time I got paid, it paid my truck note. I went out there, I got an asset. I put money into the asset, and the money I put in the asset was very limited. The first house I bought was a person that was finna lose their house through taxes. Their father died, and basically they had the house. The young man was not paying the taxes on the house. He had the house rented out. Somebody was already living in there. The person who was actually renting the house called my mom and told her that, hey, I think this man want to sell his house. After he told her that, then she pretty much reached out to me and said, hey, I may got a deal for you. I came home off active. I was on active duty military across overseas. I came home for rest and recuperation, right? R&R, rest and recuperation. I was supposed to be home just chilling. I came home with a deal with money, paid for that house, bought that house for a little of nothing. And a renter was in the house paying me back immediately. I told him that, hey, look, I have to put insurance on this house, and I can't work on this house because it's so dirt cheap. Your rent's so dirt cheap, so you don't have to fix everything yourself. But I do need to go up on it because I got to put insurance, and I got a note on this house. I got a loan to put on this house, and I went up on the house a little bit. The amount of money I was making off the house, the profit I'm making off that house, I pretty much paid my mortgage off, my little loan with my cash back. I paid myself my cash back within the first year, right? Within the first year. And then after that year, I was profiting about maybe $40 to $60, paying an electric bill or water bill each month. So after building that confidence up and going through that and seeing how easy it is, then I went and got another house. This house was an auction house. It was up for sale. It was a foreclosure. Right by a lake, not too far from Cross Lake, right off water. The house was worth $60,000, bought it for $30,000 cash. $30,000 cash. got the house, put a little work in the house, got a tenant paying $650 a month. $650. My loan was nothing but 35 with putting the work in there, put a little work in there. I always did a little bit of updating, not much. Painted, and actually the house had a extra utility room in the back that's like a big old game room. You could play, put your little pool table back there, a little area where you just hang out back there in the back. I made it a storage room. I took all my stuff and put it in there, put some, built some burglar bars for the windows by putting some 2x4s in there. And I used that in my storage room. I just rented the house out. The house had a big old backyard, big old trampoline in the back of it and everything. Nice home. Rent out for $650 a month. I only had to pay back the note was $200 a month on my little loan I did for $30,000. Right? So guess what I did with that money? That's the money I told you about my car note. I had a truck. Every month that I got paid rent, that paid every time he paid rent, it paid my truck note. Somebody else bought my truck for me. Somebody else was paying my electric bill for me, right? Or my water bill, whatever bill I gave them. So that's what made me start the rent business and understanding how other people can pay your bills. So, I mean, it's a real short one right here, guys. I want to kind of excite you on the fact that you can actually get people to pay your bills for you. If you budget, sit down, look at your bills, take your credit card bills out, take your statements out, take your credit card statements out, take your bank account statements out, sit down, highlight where your money going. Most folks don't ever do this. Some people do it all the time. But once you highlight where your money going, you can find out, okay, then, so if I invest, if I want to cut out eating out every week, if I'm eating out every week and it costs me about $100 a week of eating out, right? So that's $400 a month. So if I can cut my eating out to half of that, that's $200 a month now, right? $200 a month that you can have in your pocket. So if you got $200 a month more, you can use that money right there either to save for the next 6 months, that $200, and in 6 months you got what? $1,200, right? You got your camera. All right. So once you save that money up, then you use that money to invest into something else that's gonna make you more money. Whether it be real estate class, whether it be a wholesale class, whether it be some training, whether it be anything, right? So you can learn the skill set to go out there and buy your new property or buy your something if you ain't got the confidence yourself. So the second part of my conversation was gonna be, that's the first part. I'm gonna open the floor. Don't turn your video on because you're on YouTube if you turn your videos on. But if you want to have any questions about what I just said or comments or want to add on to that, that's the first part where I want to talk about. That's why I put on there, have somebody else pay your bills. Get what you want. If you want to go on vacation, let's say you like vacations, and you find, hey, every year I want to go on a massive vacation. Okay, how much that vacation gonna cost? That's the first part. Not say I want to go on a massive vacation, but how much that vacation gonna cost? How much spending money you want? Maybe you pay the money out your pocket for the vacation, but you use their money for the spending money. Maybe you wanna, every year I wanna throw a big party for some event. You budget how much that big party gonna cost. What's the end state? How much the money is gonna cost for this party? How much money am I gonna have to pay for the DJ? How much food gonna cost? How much is gonna cost? And then you go out there and you figure out what asset can I buy that's gonna bring me a return on my money that by the end of the year, I can use the profit from this to pay for this. Now, I'm teaching the easy way. Take care of your home, take care of your bills, take care of your car, so you can go out there and free your money up to do other things with your money, right? To invest your money to move. That's the idea. Invest. You should be working a job and continue to work a job, get the income from that job, that just over broke, and then invest your job money into assets to make more money, right? So if you can do that, you're gonna keep on making your money have a return on your investment. And that's the most important thing you can do, is try and find a way to make your money, continue to make money, continue to make money, and continue to make money. So I mean, I'm gonna open up before you know what? That's good enough. I mean, because I think that's a class in itself, and I think we can have plenty of discussion off that. Again, if you turn your video on, you're gonna be on YouTube. All is recording. I got my video off because I'm relaxing and talking and teaching, and I'll get back to wearing a video when I get me some more paraphernalia with a logo on it. So the floor is open. You can unmute and talk and add on or speak on that. But that's the message I wanted to teach you and talk about or deliver.
Okay, well, I ain't want to just jump on in, but I appreciate the call to give a quick talk. And I like that, being able to have others paying your bills for you. I was always taught that we only supposed to make our money one time. And that being said, like your regular job, you able to work a regular job and get the money, or work whatever side hustle you have and get the money, but you invested into something else that's going to continue to make you some money. Whatever that may be, I don't know, stocks, houses, cars, I mean, anything. I mean, you can make money off anything these days. I mean, YouTube, whatever. You know, there's so many ways to make money. But whatever your primary dealings is, your job or vocation you have, you put that, you get that money and put it into something else that's going to continue to make you some more money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, unfortunately, you know, as a child, we were taught one thing, right? Mostly everybody on this call was taught the same thing. We all about the same year group. Go to graduate from high school, go to college, get a good job, get a good job, and go ahead, finish it. Go ahead, Vince.
Buy you a Cadillac, get you a good house, like everything's gonna be, good after that.
Absolutely.
I was never taught to invest in myself and get a business. I was never taught that. I was taught to do the things you named. I was like, really? So I was kind of disappointed when I realized I need my credit. I realized I need to save. I realized I was upset with my parents. But guess what? At the end of the day, they can't tell you no more than they what they know. If they ain't know anything about it, guess what? They share it with you. So It took me a while to realize that. I was disappointed. I was like, man, I could have been saving. I could have invested. I could have had a checking account, saving account, stocks, but they didn't know. So I like you bringing that point out to remind us to refocus.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome.
Absolutely. No, man. I mean, we all, come on, y'all. I know other folks got some comments on that because I mean, the whole purpose of these calls is people. Go ahead.
I was a bit rebellious, man. Look here. Everybody around me worked the job, and I can count the jobs on my fingers that I didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Far as go to the job, I got to be there on time or whatever. Most of the things I did is kind of like, real estate, truck driving, cutting hair, stuff like that, just so I can make up my own schedule and be, my own type of boss or whatnot. So I didn't hear it. I heard you can be whatever you want to be if you put your mind to it, but I didn't hear go to college and get a job and all that type of stuff because I was rebellious on that type of stuff. I heard it, but I didn't hear it, if you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I was barely making it No, I was just saying I was barely making it in high school, and who wants to go to college? I'm around my son, so I got to watch how I'm talking right now.
I mean, and the thing about it is, but you've been around entrepreneurs. You were around people that didn't mind taking risks and don't mind doing other things, right?
That's right. I mean, the examples I seen, one just Fortune 500 company type per se, but in the neighborhood, it's pretty much like a company. You know what I mean? They build it like a company. You know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly. And most folks take that for granted when they're looking at the people in the neighborhood or community and how they build from scratch on up and hella nice cars and hella nice stuff. Yeah, they do it in their own way and they do it in a way that work. But guess what? They can't go there. They don't go in that thing without a business mindset.
That's right. Mhm. The problem is that the risk outweigh the reward, you know. So we had to refocus that thing, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nah, man, now you bring that's facts. This is facts right here. Everybody, they don't get it. They, the ones that get in and get out quickly, or get in and end up in other places other than where you wanted to be at from the get go. The people that ain't running like a business, they running like a hustle. But the people that ran it like a
Right.
business, they stayed in and they still in.
Because it kind of got arms on it, man. It starts stemming out to other things. Once you realize that you already running the business, why don't you run a legitimate business? It's nothing but a learning process. You had to learn to do that. So now it's time for you to learn to do this so you can get it legitimately, you know, and be a regular citizen, pay taxes and, do things that you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. Nah, man. Thank you for bringing that out to to everybody, because people look at stuff so different. And and for the most part, you pretty much alluded to the fact that, hey, I wasn't trying to go to no college here. I was rebellious. So, everybody ain't that college type. And then, when those and back in the days, if you wasn't Chris to go to college and you weren't trying to go to college, then you had to get it how you get it if you ain't going to the military. Them your options. But nah, man. For those who got on a little late, I just basically, spit out ways to look at this thing. If you see, what happens, guys, and this is just my opinion. I know I speak in a matter of fact way. I know I do, and I'm sorry that sometimes it comes across as my opinion is a strong fact. It's not. It's really just my opinion, but I believe in what I say. I do believe in that. So, I read a couple books. I read several books, or I listened to a lot of books, but it talks about how some people, when you poor, you have nothing to lose when you aim for something because you already poor. You know how it feels to be poor. You know how it feels not to have anything. When you're born into the middle class and you can have just enough to keep what you got, now you're scared to take risks because you end up back poor, but you're well off just doing the minimum to stay where you at, and you better than being poor. You always wish to be rich, but you're scared to take the risk because if you fail, you're going to end up poor. Or you're going to be scared that you fail and you're scared to try to be rich or wealthy or well off because you're scared what people are going to think of you if you don't make it, if you're going to do it. However, the rich don't mind taking risks because they're around people that take risks on a daily basis. Their circle they in, people take risks all the time and they fall right back in the place that they already in, which is rich, right? If they take a risk, they don't mind taking that risk because they know that they got a support system around them that, oh, well, Bob, oh, well, Jen, oh, well, Larry, man, I took a risk, man. It didn't work out. Boom. Somebody there say, well, you know what? I hope you learn from it. Here you go, man. I'm going to help you get back on your feet, right? Because of a circle for being rich already. They have a support system. They understand there's risk reward. They understand you got to step out, right? So the only people that stay stagnant, that stays in this world wanting to stay the same, are the middle class. Because they're too afraid to try something and fail and look around and see that everybody looking at them the same, looking at them as a failure. Or if they fail too hard, they may have to fall back on being poor. What's y'all thoughts on that? Anybody think those thoughts are too outrageous or too far-fetched?
No, I would agree with those.
Okay. You want to expound on that? I mean, you can add some flavor to it, put some salt and some pepper on it.
Well, like you say, business it's an investment and it's a risk. And to the one that takes the risk, there's a reward at the end. You could keep your money in the bank and it stays safe, and you keep it in your savings account, and it's all good. You get your 2-3% a year. Your money's safe. It's backed up by FDIC, so you're good. But when you see that other person making those big investments and taking those risks, there's a potential of a great reward at the end. Um, if you sit on your money, it's just going to be there. It's going to grow at 2-3%. You won't lose it, but you won't gain anything out of it. So, and plus, investing is fun. As like the other gentleman just said, no matter what you invest in, investing is fun, but you got to do something that you enjoy doing. And I think there's a great reward at the end.
Oh, that's absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit, about the putting your money in the savings account or checking account or whatever and gaining those 2%. Now, I heard you say that it was safe. Now, you will have the same money with a little bit, whatever, 2% interest or whatever you say. I don't even think it's that high. I think it's half of a penny or something. But either way, you have to account for inflation because things are going up around us. So we're actually pretty much losing if we don't use the money.
You just talk about inflation.
Yeah, I mean, because your money is becoming less in value because everything else is going up around us.
Man,
so
you bringing out some real talk now.
Yeah, I mean, if you just sit it there in the bank and let it sit there, yeah, it's safe, but everything else is getting higher. So, you know what I'm saying? The $1 million back in the day ain't the same $1 million it is today. You know what I mean?
So what I'm hearing is when people talk about upping minimum wage, it's so funny how people think that giving more money to someone will help the economy. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a mindset, and it takes a while to change the mindset. And what I mean is, if all you've ever accomplished is getting up, going to work, doing your 8-hour shift, and coming home, that's your norm. You're comfortable with that. There's a comfort zone there. To try to think outside the box and say, hey, I'm gonna try this business venture. Well, what if I don't do well? What if there's a lot of what if factors in it, and you're gonna second guess yourself? But once you make that first deal or that second deal, you can be like, man, I should have been doing this a long time ago. So it takes a bit to step out of that comfort zone, but when you do, you'll realize that hey, it's definitely worth it. So stepping out of comfort zone is gonna take a little bit, but it's a reward, I guarantee.
Oh man, you just said a whole lot right there. You said a whole lot right there. Go ahead, 703, if you want to speak. Go ahead.
Just listening.
We hear you.
Well, I'm just listening. Go ahead.
You got any thoughts about the minimum wage? Or you got any thoughts about stepping out, keep your money in the bank or anything like that?
Take the time keeping your money in the bank.
You say you keep it in there?
Oh no, if you're talking to me, it's definitely a waste of time keeping your money in the bank. Nope.
Absolutely. But not. So what I'm gonna expound a little bit on what SL just said, right? He said that if you start early, you wish you started early on stuff. For everyone on this call, I mean, mostly everybody on the call got some kind of business mentality, got some kind of financial understanding. And I think everybody would agree that the earlier you start saving, and I mean, the earlier you start an investment savings account, the quicker you're going to, the faster your money going to grow. I don't know if anybody ever heard of rule of 7 times 7. So the rule of 72, right? And that's how fast your money can grow over time. So I see a lot of, me being in the military, I see a lot of young soldiers. And the first thing I tell them to do is, if you work a year after 20 years, because you don't have it, because you have to work, you did it all wrong. If everybody got a job that says you got to retire in 20 or 30 years, and that's when they want you to retire. And if you start investing at the age of 20, right? You invest for 10 years, you really don't need your job no more if you invest wisely into a wise investment. That money gonna grow and flip a couple times. Now, of course, since you 10 years in a job and you retire in 20 years, why not, if you love what you're doing on your job, keep working your job for another 10 years because it's something you love to do anyway. But now you're working because you love to work, not because you have to work or you want to work for a government pension or you want to work for what you're going to get out of it. You're working because you're enjoying it. You really have the money already saved up in your investment account, not saving account, your savings investment account to do the things you would like to do in life. I.e., hey, I want 10 houses in the next 5 years. If you get 10 houses in 5 years, after you go up on a rent every year, that inflation that Brother Holmes was talking about, how if you put your money in the bank, inflation gonna catch you, right? But if you have a rent house, one rent house, you rent out for $600 that first year. You cash flowing $200 a month. $200 a month, that one house that you rent out for $600 that first year. That next year, guess what you're gonna do? Go up by 2% on your rent. So 2% times 600, and I ain't got my calculator. It ain't that much, about $18, I wanna say. Somewhere like around about $18 a month, more. But 18 times 12, look how much more money you make. Not to mention, you're gonna start late fees. If you late, that's 5%, 10% the first day you late. So if you got $600, that's $60 extra. That money you didn't account for. $60. Then I don't know if you do $2 a day, $3 a day after that, right? So if it's 30 days in a month, you got 29, you got on the first day, on the 29th, that's just $60. On the 28 days, 28 times, let's say 5. That's extra money you put in your pocket for a person that didn't do right if they late for the whole month. And then next month, you know what? They're gonna be late again. So you already know you're gonna make another extra $60. I mean, this is because of their fault. This is not you ripping them off. This is not you messing over them. They sign a contract saying they will pay every month on time, a certain time. And if they do what they say they're gonna do, then there's no penalty. But it's a penalty when you don't do what you say you're gonna do. What happened if you miss your credit card payment? A fee. What happened after that? Higher interest rate. And a credit card company is more deadly because they add your money onto your other money, and then they add the fee onto the total amount, not monthly amount. So that's even more ratchet. They really getting over. And they already charge you like a 13 to 20% interest rate. So think about that. There's one house we're talking about. You got 10 of them. If you got 10 houses, you're going to have somebody late on your rent, at least 5 of them. At least 50% of them are going to be probably late. Unless you did a great job by hiring the right people to rent your property. But out of those 10 people, somebody's going to be late. Maybe you did a good job, but still, maybe 1 or 2 people going to be late, and that's extra money. So think about if you started at 20 years old, you start buying 10 houses by the time you're 25. Now, every time those people pay rent, they're paying your mortgage down and you're making more money again. You got a whole nother savings account while you're making money. They're paying they call amortization. They amortizing your house. They're paying a mortgage back off if you have a mortgage. And guess what you do after 10 years? You can sell all those houses for a minimum of what you bought them for, a minimum what you put into them. Now you just made money. You had a savings account because you got equity built into the house. And now you sell the property for what you paid for them for, making your money back plus the equity. So do you see how after 10 years, you really can stop working if you want to stop working, if you have that lump sum money? Because guess what you're going to do? You're probably going to end up keeping a couple of those houses and not selling every last one of them. The ones that don't give you no problem, they're making the most money, you can pay them all off and you can be making that money scot-free and only paying insurances and taxes. Now, if you got that renter in that house for that whole 10 years and you done went up 3% every year or 2% every year or whatever the cost of living every year, look how much more money you're making in 10 years compared to what you were making that first year. People don't look far out. People are always looking at now. Oh, they got a headache. Oh, they called me about a toilet. Oh, they called me about this. Oh, you know what? They get on my nerves. Man, guess what? I promise you I go to work. Those emails come in, they get on my nerves. Those phone calls get on my nerves. Those text messages get on my nerves. And I ain't gonna make as much money on my own property. This just a check now. This just money now. Now, I will say that I get the benefit of, hey, when I go to the doctor, I don't gotta pay no copay. When I go to get my pharmacy, I ain't gotta pay for no pharmacy medicine. I go right there on base, give me medicine, and I ain't gotta pay all the extra money. When I'm sick, hey, son, you sick, go to the doctor. Come on, let's go to the doctor. There ain't no problem going to the doctor because there ain't no co-payment. So I got some other benefits that not money value. Oh, what? I got holidays off. I get holidays off and weekends off. Oh yeah, those some benefits right there. So working a regular job is awesome. And if I want to go buy more houses, they're gonna ask me for my W-4s. They're gonna ask me how much money I made, my tax returns and stuff. So guess what? The money I'm making from my job helped me to leverage more money. So definitely keep your job because your job helped you to leverage navigating through banks, navigating through other courses of actions, and keeping you have a safety net that's saying you got secured check coming in, you got secured insurance, you got taxes, you got a 401k that you also investing in and other things. But definitely don't put your money that you're working for into buying a car, into buying stuff. Use that money to go pay for an asset so that money can make more money to buy your car, to buy your houses, to buy your bigger home, to pay for your dream vacation, to pay for a party you want to throw for somebody. You plan on getting married, use that money that you're making off your asset to pay for your wedding. Why come out your pocket with money you work so hard for to pay for a wedding? Let that asset pay for it. Save up. You gotta buy her, you gotta have a ring, you gotta have a time. You shouldn't be getting married in a month. So, okay, I got engaged this month. We'll get married next year. Okay, let me go invest into an asset right now. They're gonna give me $300 a month. Okay, this money gonna make me money, $300 a month for the next year. We're gonna get married. Okay, then now I know 12 times 3, this is how much money I got to pay for the party or pay for the reception. Let somebody else pay for it. Oh, I'm going on honeymoon. Okay, I need to go give me a couple of assets. They're gonna pay me, my honeymoon cost me 15 grand. Hey, we'll get married in 2 years. We engaged for the next 2 years. Okay, now let me figure out how to get that 15 grand so we can have the best honeymoon ever. The asset gonna pay for it. And guess what? While you're on your honeymoon, the asset gonna keep on paying. The gift that keep on giving. That's what I hope for everybody on this call to start thinking about. Not just look at, I want to make money just to make money, or I want to make money. Now, guess what? If I die today or tomorrow after I have 10 houses or 15 houses or 5 houses, I got kids. Guess what you just did? Bless them with homes to live in. Bless them with an asset that, hey, if you got enough insurance on you and your insurance is to cover everything that you own, every 6 months to a year, you should be reevaluating how much insurance you got on you anyway. So if something happens to you there tomorrow, it can pay off the assets. You can put that in your loan. I want my money to pay off all my assets, and the kids can bury me with the money in the bank. You ain't got to come out. Nobody got to come out their pipe with no money. Have your money for your insurance, pay off everything you own, everything you had in your name, every loan that you had, if you care about that. I personally don't care. If I die today tomorrow, I don't care about my name, my social security number, my loans out there. I don't care about that. My kids have an option to either keep it and keep paying each month, keep it, pay it off with the insurance money, or sell it and just make money instantly. I don't care. I'm dead. I did my part. I left something for them to fight over, to have options, to enjoy, to love, to be inspired. And I hope that I teach every one of my kids to do that for their kids. Pay it forward. Pay it forward. Sacrifice for them. Put it all out there. That risk versus rewards that was mentioned several times earlier. The risk is worth it. The risk is worth it. The reward is awesome because anybody can benefit from my living. The people that stay in the house that I rent to them, I hope that they don't want to buy the house from me. After 3 or 4 years of renting from me, I'm like, look, you see how they went up on your, you see how much you went up on your, now I didn't went up. You see how much this costing you? If you want to keep renting it, fine. However, you can do a rent on for me, a lease option. And I can sell you the property over the next 5 to 10 years. Do you see how I can retire based off of selling the house to them? Now the house is no longer mine. I'm the bank. I'm selling them the house. They're insured. They got the taxes. They got all the problems, the headaches and everything. I just got to manage them paying me the money. I can retire. I already got a client in the house. The reward, the risk, the reward. And you can never have these options if you never get started. You can never have the opportunities if you never take the first step. And if you think, I know so many of you have gained weight and so many of you have worked out and lost weight. Did you get formally trained to lose weight? Did you go research did you go pay for a class to learn how to lose weight? Or did you just take the knowledge you already got and implement it saying that, hey, stop eating as much and work out a little bit and I'm gonna lose weight? That is real estate 101. You don't have to have all the knowledge. You got to have common sense. If I buy a house less than what its market value is, then I got a great deal. If the rent in this market is for $300 and I can rent it out for $600, then I'm definitely over the rent amount. So I'm definitely going to get a bust sooner or later. If the rent $600 and I'm renting out for $500, then and my house is nice, then everybody gonna fight over my house because this is a nice home. You're under the market. So now I can definitely make this money on this house. So the first example was I'm overcharging, I'm gonna lose money because your house is gonna be vacant. The second one is the market saying that everybody around here renting for $800, $600. I'm gonna charge a little bit less than what the market is right now when I first started. This is a diamond, y'all. I'm just dropping a diamond. I may start a little bit less when I first started, but I'm gonna make my money back within the first 2 years because I'm gonna be back up to market price within the first 2 years after we go up on the rent each month. Each year, man. It's seeing it forward. Investing with the end state in mind. Knowing what's happening today and figuring out how to adjust your schedule to make it happen, adjust your situation to be in a winning situation. And the person that rent your house gonna be happy because they got the house less than everybody else. And they don't care about it. Okay, let me give y'all the last example, and I'm gonna shut up about this. You buy car insurance for your car. If you keep that car insurance for more than 3 years and you didn't shop around, you are paying too much for car insurance. 8 times out of 10. Do anybody want to argue that point or not?
Oh no.
If you buy a car and you got your car right now, and I'm gonna drive the point a little bit further. If you buy an old car, a used car, and put car insurance on it, and I go out there and buy a brand new car, 2000 and whatever year that you bought it, that year, who paying that highest insurance? The new car, the brand new car, or that older model car?
Oh.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy how it works, guys. I mean, and we never know this stuff until you go out there and do it. It's so funny because I trade my truck in about every 4 years, 3 to 4 years, I trade my truck in. By the time it's time for my truck to get 48,000 miles on there, it's gone. I get rid of it. And every time I trade my truck in, I'm paying less in insurance every time I trade my truck in. My insurance dropped. But guess what? Over the 4 years that I keep that truck, insurance back high. But my car note is high, but my insurance is low. So it's a trade-off. If you ever do your homework, you can see how you can keep a brand new car. Now, most folks say, why you just don't lease an option, or why you don't rent the, do the lease thing? Because I never think I'm gonna get rid of them. I just like trading them in after a while. You come out with a new tailgate, I like a new tailgate. I'm gonna close on a deal on the house. Somebody gonna put some down payment on the house for me, and I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna buy me a new truck and use that as my down payment money. I did it before, and I would do it again. like that religious son. You did it before. Gotta do it again.
On something you said.
What's up?
I said, can I caveat on something you said?
Please, sir, please.
So when you were saying that they needed to stay focused and work on their finances, that's a very important nugget you gave them this evening, because if you're gonna do a business venture, you have to, first of all, tighten up your belt at home. So wherever you're wasting, if you paying $1,500 a month, just say your lease on your apartment, your condo is $1,500 a month, you got a 2-bedroom. Well, you may want to consider going down to a 1-bedroom, or you're driving a brand new 2021 car, you might want to consider driving a 2015. And the reason I'm suggesting this, because you're going to need all your finances for the business venture. And the worst thing, and like I said, the biggest fear factor is, what if I can't pay that mortgage? What if I can't pay that car note? So you got that what if factor going. But when you tighten up that budget, you won't realize how much extra money you have until you realize how much you waste. I just want to throw that one out there. Yeah.
No, absolutely. We buy Netflix. We got Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, cable.
I have Antenna TV. Antenna TV. The best thing, $25 at Walmart. No cable.
One time.
Can't get no money out of me, man.
You said, but do you see how much money we just wasted? We got Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, cable TV. They're just examples. We just wasted so much money. You call the cable company and you asking for internet. Well, we got a bundle deal. If you buy if you get cable and internet and alarm system, then we'll give it to you for $300 a month instead of $500, $600. And every month, I'm not using cable. What? All I want is the internet. The only thing I need in this house is internet. I don't want no cable.
Well, if
We
you
got
work
Netflix.
if you're working 8 and 10 hours a day, and some people maybe 12 hours a day. I mean, if you're working that many hours a day, how often can you enjoy that 300 channel TV? You know.
Absolutely. Risk versus reward. You working all day. How can you enjoy it? Oh, the football season. Well, you got buddies. They got a whole bunch of restaurants out there. You can go sit at a football game, look at a football game at a restaurant and have a good time. You saved your money all year.
Hey,
Go ahead.
that business will require those funds, and like I say, I used to be one of those guys. I used to waste a whole lot of money on a lot of different stuff, and I'm like, man, golly. So I don't throw that money away anymore, and it grows pretty good. So
And let me stay there because you brought it up twice. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. So what SL is talking about is people want something for nothing, right? Everybody want a lot in the world, but they don't want to put nothing into it. So he's saying that, hey, you have to sacrifice some of the nice things that you think is nice right now, some nice to haves, some niceties, and invest your money into your dream, your business, your goals, right? You have to invest your personal cash or have your personal cash ready and available to invest. I told you off back, you should work hard for your money at a job, get that money and invest that money into your personal business and your personal aspirations and everything, right? That's my thought pattern, right? And it basically goes along with if you can save more money and not be wasteful in your budget, that's another way that you have more money to invest into your business, invest into you. Bet on you. Stop betting on everybody else and bet on you. Because the risk of doing this is worth the reward on the tail end. And if all those examples I gave you about how you can buy a house or buy so many houses and so many times, if that didn't touch you or become a realization, I promise you, I was scared when I started. I'm still scared to this day because, it's a lot of my name on a whole bunch of stuff. But the risk versus reward make me not scared anymore because I'm like, I know what I'm doing because the amortization and then COVID-19, then the banks start giving refinance loans to give you a better interest rate, and you already cash flowing before you made I forgot the word of it. Before I refinance, then guess how much more you cash flowing by refinancing? Because you took the step the first time. So if I was working hard and barely making any money at first, then once the banks allow me to refinance, now I ain't barely making money. Now I'm making some money. Do you see how it works if you just take the steps? It works out. Now, if I say I'm in the money, no, I'm not in the money. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy, but I'm not stressed and worried either. I can go to work and not be like, oh man, I gotta have this job. I ain't go to work to know that I got a skill set that I can replace this job if something happens. But I go to work every day because I do like being a difference at work. I do like having that benefit of going to the doctor office and don't have to worry about nothing. I do like having a W-4, so when I want to buy more stuff, they ain't got to even look at my money I'm making on the business side. They can only look at my W-4 and say, yeah, he can get it. The money on the business side just extra. So I do like leveraging my job. And I do and applaud everybody on this call that got a job. Keep your job. I ain't telling you that don't let it go, but I'm telling you, let's make enough money in your own business by betting on you so that that job is not your guaranteed only money, that you create your money. You create your future. You create your kids, your grandkids, your loved ones' future. You establish something bigger, better for them. If you don't do it for yourself, if you're not a selfish person and you think about yourself, well, then think about all the people that are coming behind you. You be the example. You go out on a limb to show them they can do it on their own too. All right, that's all I got. I done preached too long on this.
Well, I agree with what you're saying because you have to get after it. And I'm sure you've already spoke to them about like the 3 months of finances basically in their savings. You know, if they're gonna do this business venture, you know, and the thing about a business project, nothing goes exactly how you plan it. Well, you can plan it for the best, but you have to make sure you leave a little cushion for what ifs, you know, if that helps anyone.
I recap on it with the 3 months. So I don't know if you, I know you heard me say it several times. You know, I believe in everybody should only save your salary, the job you work at every day. You should save up 3 months of your salary. After you save up 3 months of your salary, that's enough for a rainy day, right? Ain't that many rainy days in the world. My logic behind it is, my logic, it's just my opinion. Again, I say stuff in a matter of fact way, but I'm sorry, I just believe in what I say. It's just my opinion. If I lose my job today or tomorrow, I should be able to find another job within 30 days. But find another job within 30 days, I should be in, you know, it take 2 weeks to probably get your first paycheck, or maybe a month to get your first paycheck. So worst case scenario, take a month. I had enough money saved up to pay my bills for 3 months. So within that next 30 days, after that, that's 60 days in, I got my checks back rolling. I can save enough for 2 more months, and I got my 90-day period up, right? My 3 months of money saved up again with the new current salary, because I should be living below my means. Every check that come in shouldn't pay all my bills, right? Every check come in, I should have a cushion money. I should be living off of 30. Actually, I should be living off about 30 or 40% of my salary. I believe in, you know, I really believe in less than that. I think you should live off 20% of your salary, really, but 30% of my salary, I say that, you know, that pays all my electric, my gas, my water, my house, my car notes, my food, my lifestyle, right? 10% need to be going to God, 20% need to go to one of my investment savings accounts, another 20% need to go to my other savings account. So that should leave you about 30%, right? 20 plus 20, that's 40, plus 10, that's 50, right? That's 50%. So you still got more savings. So that's I'm over, you know, I like to invest more, save more than spend more. So I try to live conservative. My lifestyle don't got to be that big. But yeah, definitely, y'all. You got to invest in yourself, bet on yourself. You definitely should have a cushion where rainy days happen. I mean, we always look for a rainy day to happen. You want to have something that you don't feel stressed if something happens. And that's just my thought pattern, that 90-day plan. 30 days to find a job. Okay, my check should be kicked back in. And then, hey, I should be back saving again. The first couple months of working, I should be back trying to save as much money as possible to get back to my 90-day period of savings. And then everything else I make after that, don't need to go in that same saving account no more. That go into investments. So when I buy a house, that's an investment. So if I'm using cash to buy a house, that's from the money I saved over that 90-day period, over that 3-month period. Because that money gonna make me more money. Again, I work hard for money, and I want that money to make me more money. I don't work hard for money for to sit in no bank and let it sit and chill. And the bank that lend out to everybody at 3%, at 30% interest rate, and for to give them house notes. I'd rather go buy the house and become the bank. And do a lease option or rent to own for 6%, for 10%, for 8%, for 7%. Anything for 10% below. I'm not going over 10%. 10% if you got horrible credit. You got horrible credit, you got to pay more. If you got horrible credit, your car insurance costs more. If you got horrible credit, your credit card costs more. If you got horrible credit, your life insurance costs more. They check your credit for your life insurance. You got horrible credit, everything go bad. So if I'm gonna take a chance on you buying a house from me and I'm being the bank, you gotta pay me a little bit more. Come take a chance on you. Nobody else gonna give you a chance. The bank ain't gonna give you no chance at all. So, all right, guys. Hey, look, that was a 10-minute conversation that lasted way long, and I appreciate you all for input. I hope that y'all got something from it. I mean, the goal is, you know, to inspire you to take action, inspire you to invest, to inspire you to do it in your will. I mean, you ain't got to invest in me. You invest in you. You just take your will. You know what you want to do. You get on this call because you got something in mind. Now you just got to start taking action and betting on yourself and pushing yourself. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, SL too, man. Yeah, you dropped some nuggets out there too as well. So thank y'all for y'all input. I hope everybody have a great night. See y'all next Monday. Invite somebody.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.